What's going on, Rovers? Sam here, back at it again for another video. With 1.2 right around the corner, I thought it was time that we did a final 1.1 tier list in Wuthering Waves. So let's get right into it. So let's start off with the new characters, starting with Jinguan. She is absolutely insane. I don't think anyone's going to detest the fact that she is the best DPS in the game. Her multipliers are insane. She does the most damage in the game. The only thing I will say is understanding and perfecting her combo can take a little bit more. I'd say it's a little bit more complicated than, Chenli's or Jinguan's, but all in all, she is the best character in the game, DPS wise, bar none. Moving over to my favorite new character, Chenli. If it was based on fun factor, she is easily the most fun character in the game. I don't think it's even close, but she doesn't compare to Jinguan. Her damage is very, very solid. I think her combos are very easy to master. I also really like characters that have like a universality, meaning with her outro, she's going to be pretty much relevant for, a very long time because it gives fusion damage increase. So all in all, my favorite new character, she's kind of my main DPS. She does a crap ton of really good damage. All in all, solid character. Jinguan, definitely fallen down a bit, but I still think he's S tier. He obviously doesn't do as much damage as Jinguan, but I still think his ability to parry at ease, literally you pop his burst, you can close your eyes, he will parry absolutely everything in the game, and he can still do some very respectable damage. So all in all, I still think Mr. Jinguan is S tier. Yangyang, S tier. She's amazing. She pairs actually really well with Chenli. She is such a good all-around character. She does like everything really well. Just a very balanced character. Also, she's mommy. But all in all, I think this character is one of the safest to invest into. Obviously, similar to Chenli, she has that universality with the electro damage increase when you use her outro skill. All in all, fantastic character. She pairs well with a lot of other characters. Phenomenal character. Verena, still S tier. Do we really need to say anything? Boring. She's the most boring character in the game, but gives attack. She's the best healer in the game. I think she's a little clunky. I've said this before. I just feel like her animations and her combos are just a little clunky. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that on the horizon, Winky Face, we have another top tier healer that kind of pushes Verena further down. Encore. Encore is awesome. I think Encore is S tier. I think you could maybe even sneak her ahead of Jinguan. With the addition of Chenli and obviously the outro skill that she has, really plays well with Encore. I'd say their combos together aren't the best. If you really want to maximize Encore's damage, you're really going to have Chenli kind of take a back seat. I mean, you're still going to use, Chenli's multiple skills because you want to build up your Concerto to swap in to activate that outro skill for Encore. But to me, I use Chenli more as a main DPS and pair her with Yangyang instead of using her with Encore. But if you want your Encore to pop off, she has the perfect catalyst and support character here to do just that. But I do think Encore is now officially in S tier. Calaro, my man, I still really like this character. Still pairs really well with Yangyang. I'd say he's A tier. His combos definitely are very intricate, and if you're in his burst and you're doing his big slam attack, it's very hard to maximize his DPS without dodging or getting knocked out of it. So I just think his damage ceiling is a lot lower than, the other DPS characters because his combo is very intricate and it's very precise. You literally have to be like a dodging or parrying god to get all full stacks and full damage in his rotation. But when it pops off, woo! It does some good damage. Let's move on to Havoc Grover. Solid. Very, I still have not built this character, mostly because I went absolutely resource broke for Chenli. But Havoc Grover, one of the best free DPSs in the game. Very good character. Amazing damage. You can do a double Dreamless team with her and Dann, like we already know. All in all, phenomenal character. Sanhua. Sanhua's going in S. I think Sanhua is such a slept-on character to me. I remember early on, I thought she was B tier. Then I kind of moved her up to A tier. Now I think she's S. She, again, universality. I don't know if it's a word, but I'm going to keep saying it. I think it's very important to have characters that have outro skills that have long-term viability. So for her, it's basic attack. So when you use her outro skill, it does that. I think it's 38% deepen for basic attack. So we really haven't had a main DPS that focuses on normal attack damage. I would say like Chenli is skill damage. Jinguan is heavy and liberation. So is Shi. She's more on the heavy and liberation, I believe. But you have to think that a basic attack damage character is coming. Sanhua pairs very well with Chenli. She's just a really good character. Also, I think her character design is one of the best in the game. So I think she deserves S tier. Another S tier character, Mortefi, Mortify my guy, Dragon Dude, whatever you want to call him. Amazing character, does really good damage. His coordinated attack is very good. He pairs obviously amazingly well with Jinguan. And again, universality, increases heavy damage when his outro skill is procced. I can't stress it enough. That's what? 4 characters that have these outro skills that precede, make them relevant long term. So it's very hard to kind of cast them aside. I just think it makes them very, very good in the short term and in the long term. Jing. I think she's A tier. I don't have this character yet, but she's very, very versatile. I think she's arguably one of the most versatile characters in the game. She does really good damage. She has pretty good AoE. She can shield. She can even be like a niche healer. Does pretty good damage. So all in all, I just think she is a very, very well-rounded character. We will go to Dann. Now, Dann is one of my favorite characters. I was kind of a Dann main before I got Chenli. I think fun factor, S tier. One of the most fun characters in the game. Damage-wise, she's probably B. Now that we have kind of the, I would say, 5 heavy hitters of DPS, she definitely doesn't really stack up to them. Just her multipliers being a 4-star aren't as good. But I think if you have, S2 of her, and maybe you're lacking on some DPSs, you can definitely build her, and she can do really good damage. As I mentioned, you can do a double Dreamless team with her and Havoc Rover and clear dang near every piece of content in the game. So all in all, still a very, very solid character. Let's go Chisha. I think Chisha is, I'm going to say C tier. I've seen people do insane damage with Chisha, especially now that Chenli is in the game. But for me personally, I don't love the gun playstyle of her. Mortefi is a little different because you're mostly using his skill and you're using his Inferno Rider outro skill and then obviously his burst. He's not really, you're not really normal attacking with him. With Chisha, you kind of are, and I don't love it. Obviously, damage-wise, I think she's probably on par, if not better than Dann. But for me personally, I just don't love the play style. Alto, again, C tier. I'm noticing a trend with gun characters here. He's just kind of meh. Obviously, character design looks awesome. He does have a outro skill that provides arrow damage deepen, which is good, but he's just, I don't know. The whole kind of illusionary aspect just, it doesn't really vibe well and go very well. But I mean, he's fine if you have, Jinguan and maybe you don't have Mortefi. You can definitely make him, your top tier, your best support for Jinguan in that situation. But I just think he's going to get significantly outclassed. I mean, if we look at kind of the trajectory, we have a fire damage increasing character, a lightning damage increasing character, both 5 stars. I imagine that we're going to get an arrow character that's outro also increases arrow deepen damage. So I just think Alto is not going to last very, very long. Baija. I think Baija is solid. Obviously, her healing is not nearly as good as Verena, but I think she's a pretty solid character. I haven't really built mine because I envisioned that we would be getting another good support / healer pretty soon. Winky face. I actually thought we'd be getting another good healer sooner, but I mean, she's definitely really good. I mean, a lot of people, we've had to build her because, she's really only the 2nd best healer in the game, and you need healers for Tower of Adversity. But all in all, I think she's solid. Her little pet, he's cool. He's cool. Pretty good healer. But all in all, she's going to get power scaled very, very quickly because she is a 4-star. Let's do a Yangyang. Yangyang's kind of tough. Like she has aspects of her, especially early game where she's A tier. I kind of think she falls off. I'm gonna say like B plus tier. Good AOE, good damage for a 4-star. You know, she's free. She definitely carried me very early on, but again, being a 4-star, she gets kind of power scaled very quickly. You know, if you have Zhang, there's really no point to use her. But all in all, I think she's just a very well-rounded character. Now, I will say she is the most intriguing character long term for me because she is the mascot of Wuthering Waves, like in the App Store. And I'm really curious to see if they give a 5-star variant of her. It's definitely something that I've considered, kind of like the Dan Hung effect of HSR. I really truly think that she's going to get a 5-star variation. Obviously, that doesn't affect her 4-star rating, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Spectro Rover, meh. Very meh character. Why would you use Spectro Rover when Havoc Rover is a thing? There's really no point. The damage is meh. I mean, in a pinch, you can use, I mean, if we have S6 Spectro Rover, you can pair that character with Jinguan. But all in all, it's like, not great. Liang. Again, kind of a meh character. I really wanted to like this character because I think he looks cool. He's playful. I think his animations are pretty sweet, but just he's kind of clunky. Like a lot of his stuff is in the air. And if we've seen anything from in the air combat, now Wuwa has done a really good job of in the air combos, but he is very susceptible of getting knocked back. So until a character comes out that provides like a really good shield that kind of transfers to when you're in the air, like better than Genshin. This character is kind of meh. Like if you get a lot of copies of him, his damage can be pretty good. I imagine, like I said earlier, we're gonna get a 5-star character that focuses on Glacio deepen damage. So he could definitely see an uptick here, but I imagine when we get our 5-star Glacio DPS, he is going to considerably drop off. So all in all, I mean, he's low B. Honestly, he probably does less damage than a well-built Chisha, but since he's a 5-star and since he's cool, we will give him the grace of B tier. Yuan Wu, I like this character. I need to build him. Again, I'm resource broke because of this little Phoenix Mama, but if you get a lot of copies of him, his coordination attacks are probably on par, if not better than Morteffi's. Like I have S6 Yuan Wu, and I need to build him because he can actually do some pretty good damage. I think he has one of the coolest burst animations in the game, like this huge electro fist. Like it looks insane, but his coordination attacks are actually pretty solid. I've seen some really well built Yuan Wus that can do really good damage. Obviously, you can pair him in a full electro team with Yanlin and Calaro, and he can pop off. I mean, I would say that is the second best electro team behind, you know, Calaro, Yanlin, and Verena. But I think he is a very good character. Like, I think he kind of has a little bit of universality as well, just because we don't have a lot of good coordination attackers just yet. But I like that character. I think he looks cool. So yeah, I'm gonna throw him. I'm gonna sneakily throw him in a tier. Now, last but certainly not least, we will throw Touchi. Again, kind of a meh character. I think her biggest weakness is just animations. Like they're very long, they're very drawn out. I feel like she's just a worse version of Beto. I mean, she does pair decently well with Chenli because she does skill damage, but just kind of a character. You know, we got a lot of characters down in C tier here. But all in all, I think this is my tier list. We actually have quite a few S tier characters, which is promising. I wouldn't say there's like a lot of really bad characters. I mean, you can make any character in Wuwa work if you invest into them, if you understand their patterns and their combos and how they play well with other characters. But I think it's pretty promising the direction that Wuwa is going as far as their characters. But comment down below, what do you think of my tier list? Is it absolute dog water? Is it on point? I'm very curious to know. But as always, appreciate y'all so much.